Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do a detailed review on Keurig's K Supreme Plus. Now I've done a detailed review on the K Supreme, but this is their newer one, the K Supreme Plus. This has got to be Keurig's one of their fanciest and nicest Keurig machines. So it's got an all metal finish. It looks really nice. It's got their multi-brew 5 needles at the top. They call that MultiStream Technology. So I really do like that. It's got a standard bottom needle. It just looks really, really nice. It's got a removable reservoir with a big handle. It's really easy to grab. I like that about that. It's got a very nice display up here. This is solid. In the video, you're going to see that that's kind of flashing or flickering. It's nice and solid. But what you're going to notice right away is it's got 4 ounce, 6 ounce, 8 ounce, 10 ounce, and 12 ounce. So they've added a 4 ounce and a 6 ounce. The 4 ounce is really, really nice. That's a really, really concentrated coffee you could use for some specialty drinks. It's got a strength selector and a temperature selector. It also has over ice. And then it's got these programmable buttons. So say you brew an 8 ounce with the strength and a certain temperature every day, you can program number 1 to be your strength and your size every day. So all you gotta do is press number 1. I'm gonna show you how to use that in the video later. But that's the main. This control panel looks really nice, really nice. They've just got a very nice look to it. This one's got this is actual metal on it. There is some kind of plastic on it still, but it looks really nice. This is a metal handle. Feels really nice, feels really solid. First thing you notice is, so the Keurig, that's a stamped Keurig. Normally that's just like a sticker or lettering, but the side of it looks really nice. It's got the standard removable drip tray. Very nice. Now the first thing, this is not a clock. So in the instruction manual, so it comes with a pretty basic manual, but in the manual, it kind of shows that display as a clock. It's not a clock. This does not have any kind of programming to turn on in the morning or nothing like that. So this only displays, and again, they're not flickering in real life, but it's not very bright. It only displays strength and temperature. Now it will tell you to add water in there, and there is a descale light that'll come on too. But so with the strength button, there's 3 strengths. I've never had a Keurig with 3 strengths. So you start out, see that bar graphs on the left? You can go to the middle and then the light lights up, or you can go all the way to the right, which is like number 3. So you've got kind of like low, medium, and high strength. Same with temperature. It's got a bar graph. So with the temperature, you've got low, medium, and then high. So there's medium, then high. Every time you press the button, it just cycles through that. So we're going to measure those temperatures. Again, there's 4. The reason they give you so many choices is you know, what do you like your K-Cup at? It's your option. If you like it on the 6 ounce, brew it on the 6 ounce. If you like it on the 8 ounce, I brew mine on the 8 ounce. And then it's got this over ice. We'll brew a K-Cup over ice, see how it does. Again, back to the reservoir. So this particular machine does come with a filter. That's a carbon. This is their tall handle carbon filter. That's about a $12 value, and this machine came with it. And it just pops on there. So I've got another video how to, when you get a carbon filter, they come in these packs. You've got to soak it in water for 10 minutes and then rinse it because there's a bunch of carbon dust on there. And then you just pop these little tangs off and it goes inside there. And you want to make sure, and if you don't do, it'll just float if you don't do anything. You got to kind of press it on at a certain angle, and then you pull on it and it's kind of held there. So this is a really big reservoir. Again, I love this handle. That's the best selling part of these Keurig Supremes and Supreme Plus. And it sits nice and level on a countertop. Keurig, some of their reservoirs are not the easiest to hold, to grab, all of that, but they've really gotten the design. And you can put the design You can put the reservoir either way, handle out or handle like this. Now, if you've got a Keurig K Supreme, you may notice on the K Supreme you can move this reservoir. This is going to be a fixed reservoir, and there's a little notch cut out here for the reservoir. So you may be used to, on some of the other Keurigs, you could move this. You could move it to the back or to the other side. That is not the case with this. This reservoir is fixed in this position only. And again, it's on the left-hand side, and it's very easy to use. It's got just a nice lid. It's got one line. It's got a max line right there where you fill it up. This just says, do not remove the water reservoir when it's brewing. So let's look at the box it came in. Again, this one came with a My K-Cup. That's a $10 value. That's got the spot for the 5 needles. I'm going to do a separate video on how to use this My K-Cup with this K Supreme, because we've got that multi-brew technology with 5 needles. This one also came with that tall water filter and 2 extra cartridges. And this just takes the standard K-Cup. The standard K-Cup that they're selling now. You can buy a Walmart brand or Keurig brand. There's so many different types of flavors out there. So let's go over dimensions really quick. So this is as wide, its widest part is about 8¼ inches. Front to back, you're almost at 13 inches. So height-wise, it's only about 12 inches, but with the handle, it's about 17½. And this will fit under a standard kitchen cabinet just fine. Standard kitchen cabinets are about 18½. Okay, so with the drip tray installed, it's about 6 inches, because you got this little bottom part that sticks out right there. So again, when you remove the drip tray, it can fit a travel mug. And that travel mug is right at 7 inches. So it can fit about 7¼ Yeah. But it does have these little ridges here. So when you put it in there, make sure it's got to be skinny enough, because you do have these little ridges here. And then when you're done with the drip tray, you can just put it right back on. It kind of snaps on. There's a nice metal finish. Again, nice metal finish. I did do another video. I did an unboxing where I show you how to set it up for the first time. Kind of how to do a rinsing brew. But in this detailed video, we're going to brew some coffee. We're going to brew all the settings, all the strengths, over ice. I'm going to show you how to program these buttons. Some of the features, so it does shut itself off after 5 minutes. That's an automatic feature that you cannot turn off. So after 5 minutes, the machine just turns itself off. But the first thing you're going to notice about this is a very quiet machine. Some Keurigs make a lot of noise when they're boiling the water, because they have a holding tank in here that they fill up and they boil the water, and then it comes out and shoots out. This is the quietest Keurig I've seen. I just can't stress enough how nice of a Keurig this is. But again, this display might be the weak point, because it's just kind of dim. That's my only complaint right now. But I do like that these light up. They're flashing at you. They're easy to see. They're kind of raised. So cost-wise, this thing's about $190 if you cannot find it on sale. Now I bought this off of Amazon, and I was able to find it for about $145. I have seen them down as $130. Normally they range around $160, but usually they're around $190. And I don't think they sell these at Walmart yet. I know they sell them at Bed Bath & Beyond, and at Target, and on the Keurig website, and on Amazon. And I am going to be doing another video. I've got the K Supreme, and I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison with the K Supreme. But this is the K Supreme Plus, and I'll be doing my detailed review on it today. Okay, so let's go back up to the control panel. So again, we got 3 strengths and 3 temperatures. Now the strength is like a normal, bold and then more bold, I guess you'd call it. Now, and that's by pressing the strength button. What I've noticed is, and I'm going to show you, when we do the strengths, it just takes it a little bit longer to brew. The stream is not as fast. Now, I've noticed a big difference. When I've got the strength all the way over to the 3, I actually do taste a little bit stronger coffee. The temperature. So the temperature's got 3 settings. This one's been a little harder. I've been doing a lot of tests on it, and I'm only seeing about 2 or 3 degrees difference between the temperature. That's about a 175, 177 is the middle, and about 180 is all the way over. But coffee cools off so quick, it's very, very hard to kind of do a good test on this. And so when the lights are not lit, that means the bars are all the way to the left. That's kind of like their standard setting. And when I press the button once, it lights up to let you know, okay, I'm on a different strength than what I'm supposed to be on. I'm on the middle strength. If I press it again, I go all the way over to the far strength and temperature. And if you just keep pressing them, it cycles back over. When you do the over ice button, it turns off everything. The over the ice button is 6 ounces only, and you just got to press the K button. So again, if I want to do the strength, I got to do it now. Okay. So let's put a K-cup in. You're going to lift the handle. Now be careful, there is a needle at the bottom. That's Keurig's standard needle basket right here. That's their standard one they've got. So you're going to put your K-cup in. It's going to pierce the bottom with that needle. And then the top, these 5 needles, be very careful, this is all sharp. These are going to pierce the top. And then this little lever right here is going to grab the K-cup and kind of help pierce the needle. So if we watch it, that bottom one grabs it. There, it poked the bottom one. Now we're going to do the top. And that's what you do. So let's take a look at the K-cup. And there's what it does. It pokes 5 holes in there and 1 hole in the bottom. And you can see these needles. So these needles do get some coffee grounds on them once in a while. So it's important to clean those needles. I'm going to do a separate video on how to clean the needles. So again, we got another K-cup in. We're just going to push it in. Okay, so when we close it, it kind of activates the system. It turns it on automatically. If you had it off, it turns on. Now it says, what do you want to do? What size do you want to brew? I brew my coffees on 8 ounces. I got to press the 8-ounce button. It's lit now. I can still do a different strength if I want, but I'm going to do a normal strength and a normal temperature. So those lights are not lit. I'm just going to press the K button. The display does change and says brewing, and it's got 3 little dots that kind of move across to let you know that it's brewing. Now this thing is super quiet. It's super quiet and super fast. It's going to brew this 8-ounce in about a minute. We don't get much splattering, so that's really nice. It's a nice even stream coming out the bottom. So just when you think it's done, it's going to shoot out 1 more shot of water. And that's about 170. 170 on the lowest temperature. So, like I said, it's got 3 temperatures. We did the lowest one, and coffee cools off so quick. And again, I just want you to hear, this is so quiet of a machine. It doesn't have that boiling water sound. You did hear the pump running when it was done. That's the loudest part of this whole machine, was that pump running. You do get just a little bit of steam coming up over the machine. They do recommend stirring these drinks because it does get a little weaker towards the end. But this is a very hot cup of coffee, and it tastes really good. Keurig machines have come a long way, and these K-cups are starting to taste really, really good compared to like a coffee maker. Okay, so the machine, it turns off all the lights when you're done brewing, And if you didn't do anything to the machine after 5 minutes, the power button would turn off. So the machine turns itself off. So we're just going to lift it up. There's the K-Cup. And just keep in mind, you do get some kind of coffee grounds up here and stuff. So we will be doing a fresh water rinse here in a little while. But be careful, these K-Cups can be hot. You're just going to lift the K-Cup in. Check out my other videos on how to recycle these. I'm going to show you what's inside them right now. So here we have the K-Cup. Again, 5 needle holes. A standard Keurig just has 1 needle hole in the middle. But they claim this MultiStream Technology. I do think it tastes a little better. And then you've got the 1 hole in the bottom where the coffee comes out. Okay, so I cut the bottom off. Your coffee is kept in a filter. That's a paper filter like for a normal coffee maker uses. Okay, so I cut the top off. And there's 2 tablespoons of coffee in a paper filter. And it looks like it gets them all pretty saturated. It actually looks like it does a pretty good job with the K-Cup. So here's that first K-Cup I used that I didn't brew. There's your coffee grounds. And there's that paper filter. And there's 2 tablespoons of coffee in each K-Cup. That's not been brewed, and that has been brewed. And again, I brew mine on 8 ounces because I've done some taste tests. But you know, however you like the taste. If you like it on the 10-ounce setting for a K-Cup, because most K-Cups, if you look at the box the K-Cups come in, they don't tell you what to brew it on. Most of the Starbucks will tell you, Starbucks K-Cups tell you to brew it on the 8 ounce. But if you like a really strong coffee, you can brew it on the 6 ounce. It's just not much water. It's just not much coffee. So let's do a strength. So let's put our K-Cup in. I want to do a strength. So I'm going to press the strength button, and now my strength went to the middle bar graph, and my light is on. I'm going to press the 8 ounce. I've got the 8 ounce pressed, then the big K button is flashing, let me know that I'm ready to brew. I'm just going to press the big K button, and we're going to start brewing. Again, this is the middle strength. And I've done some time tests. The middle strength brews about 10 seconds longer. So the first strength, which was the first cup of coffee, took about a minute. This took about a minute and 10 seconds. That takes about a minute and 20 seconds. These are really fast cups of coffee. Again, we've got it on the lowest temperature setting. So you can see that water, when it's coming out, it's super hot, but it cools off so quick when it gets in the coffee cup. The stream's a little slower. You do get a few more splashes from that stream not being as fast. But you really I don't notice the taste difference on this middle one, but the third one, I do. I actually do. And just when you think it's done, it's got to shoot out one more little shot. Okay, that took about a minute, 20 seconds, same temperature. And again, this is really, really hot to taste right now. I've done the taste test, and it does taste just a little bit stronger. But again, not so much with this middle one. It's the third one that I noticed, and it actually tastes pretty good on the third one. So let's take the K-Cup out. Again, you just lift it up. Let's put this one in again. Now let's go to, and it always reverts back to the standard strength. So let's go to the third strength. Let's press the button 3 times. The bar graph is all the way full. That means it's going to be full strength, or bold as bold can be. Then I'm going to do 8 ounce. Once I press the 8 ounce button, then the big K button is flashing. I'm just going to press it. Again, the display says brewing. This thing's very quiet. Now this brew takes about a minute and 50 seconds. You're approaching 2 minutes, but it's under 2 minutes, but it's noticeably slower. You know, the water coming out is it's trying to get up there. But see, you can tell that stream is noticeably slower. So we're getting up there to about 180. Again, I haven't adjusted the temperature. The temperature's on the standard temperature. This is just the bold 3 setting. And again, you do get a few more splashes. Anytime that stream is kind of slow, you tend to get a few more splashes around. And just when you think it's done, it's going to shoot out one more stream. So you end up with roughly the same temperature of coffee, 165. Again, that's as loud as the machine is. I never hear the heater kick on. So this is really hot. I've done the taste test on this number 3. Now, it doesn't taste more bitter. It just tastes more like coffee, like a little darker, if that makes any sense at all. I'm not a coffee expert. I'm not a coffee taste expert. But I do notice a taste difference. And it actually tastes a little better on that bold setting. And again, I'm using the 8-ounce setting. You can do a 10-ounce setting on your K-Cups. You can do a 6-ounce setting. You can even do a 4-ounce setting or a 12-ounce. Whatever taste you like. That's what makes these Keurig. I love all the options. I really do. Let's show you the 4-ounce setting. Okay, I got my K-Cup in. I'm just simply going to press the 4 button and the K button. So the 4-ounce setting, you can start making some cappuccinos and lattes, sort of, some specialty drinks. That's a very concentrated coffee. And just when you think it's done, it's going to shoot one more shot through it. So that's the smallest that this machine will do. That's 4 ounces. And again, that's just way too of a concentrated coffee for me. But for some specialty drinks, putting milk with it or some other things, this could work out really well. Okay, so let's do different temperatures now. It's all the way to the left. The light's not lit, so let's press it once. It lights up. We're in the middle. I'm going to go all the way to the right. Like I said, I only noticed about a 2 or 3 degree temperature split, but I'm going to go all the way to the right. So that's maximum temperature. Let's see what the maximum temperature of this thing can put out. I'm going to do 8 ounce and the K button. The machine sounds the same when you've got it on that higher temperature. You know, the water coming out is a little hotter, maybe around 190. Where on the lowest setting, it was around 180 coming out. So see there, I can see 195. But once you get in the coffee cup, it just cools off so quick. So again, yeah, you see quite a bit of temperature spread up as the water comes out, but once it gets in the coffee cup, you end up with about a 170, 175 degree cup of coffee, which is really, really hot. It's going to burn you. Now, to me, I don't think having it brew on the hotter temperature, to me, it doesn't change the flavor as much. It's just a really hot cup of coffee. Just stays hot a little bit longer. Okay, so let's talk over ice. I've got a big container. Now, they say not to do it into an ice glass because with the ice and the hot water coming in, it could crack your glass. They say to do it in a plastic container, but I have not had any, it's never cracked on me, so I always do it in a nice big tall glass. So this will brew over ice. So let's put our K-Cup in. Again, any coffee K-Cup, we can brew over ice. Now here's the difference. I'm going to press the over the ice button. So it says over ice on the display. It turns everything off. You can't pick what you're going to brew over ice. You can't say I want over ice 12, 8 ounce. it automatically selects the 6 ounce. It doesn't light up, and I've measured it. It's only going to brew 6 ounces through that K-cup. And you can't select a temperature or a strength. So when you press the over the ice, the only next step is to press the big K button. So you got to take your drip tray out. This is a big glass. You need lots of ice because it's going to come out of there pretty hot. I think it tries to brew it at a lower temperature, but it's actually pretty hot coming out of there. It's going to look like a lot of coffee, but it's only 6 ounces because it melts the ice so quick. So even though it's 6 ounces, it's going to get diluted with water quite a bit. And you can see that water coming out of there is 180. So that's really hot. I had first thought maybe they tried sending like 150 degree temperature. No, it's still 180 degrees. So you can see that it looks more than that. It looks more than 6 ounces. So with that much ice, you know, it's cooled off pretty quick. You end up with about a 45, 43. So that's a pretty nice iced coffee, but it does melt quite a bit. Okay, so the display will tell you when it's time to add water. And again, even though it's got a little bit of water left in it, it's not enough to do a brew. So it tells you to add water. So you simply just pick it up, take it over to your faucet. I love these reservoirs. It's easy to clean with a brush. Nice reservoir. So we've been brewing quite a few coffees. I want to show you. So here again, you've got the K-cups. You see, you do get some coffee grounds on these needles. And you might get some residue down in here from the coffee, but take the K-cup out, leave it empty, close the handle. You can do either a 6 ounce or an 8 ounce. I like to do 8 ounce and a brew. This is called a fresh water rinse. And you'll be surprised. Sometimes you get a few coffee grounds in here and stuff, and your water's a little discolored. It's good to do these rinses once in a while. It just keeps the inside of the machine cleaned out. So you can see that water, I've got some coffee grounds. It's discolored. And I've only done 1, 2, 3, about 6 or 7 cups of coffee. So they say you should do this once a week. And check out my other video. I do a video on the Keurig makes rinsing pods that work really well. I do recommend the rinsing pods. So yeah, see all the coffee grounds floating around in there, and the water's real brown. It looked really clean to me, but when you run these rinses, you'll be surprised. And it keeps your needles clean. So yeah, we'll just throw this down the sink, but there are quite a few coffee grounds in there. And another thing is, don't leave a K-cup in here. I know even I find myself doing it sometimes. That's the biggest reason that clogs these needles, is when people leave K-cups in here. You may leave it in there over the weekend, 2 or 3 days, but try to take the K-cup out. Even though they can be a little hot, be careful. Try to take your K-cup out. Okay, so let's talk more about the control panel. We've went over ice, temperature, all these buttons. These programmable buttons. This is new to Keurig. I've not seen this on a Keurig before. This is like the seat memorization things you have on your car for like your seat. So say I want to be user number 1. And every day I get up, say I brew a full strength. So I'm going to select my strength I want. Say I brew an 8 ounce. Once I've got my settings set, I don't want to press the K button. Come over here and just hold down and until it memorizes. It says saved. So now that full strength and 8 ounces is saved. So let's pretend, so turn the machine off. Say you come up in the morning, you're going to brew your cup of coffee. All I got to do now is hit that 1 button. It says favorite 1. It puts it at full strength. It highlights the 8 ounce button. I still have to press the K button to start my brew, but at least it does everything for me. And then, so say you want to be a number 2. So pick what setting you want. Say the number 2 person likes theirs on 6 ounces. They like their strength medium and the temperature all the way over. Once they have their settings set, just hold down the number 2 until it says save. See, it says saved. Now you can let up. Now I can switch between number 1 and number 2. And I can even do a number 3. Those are very, very nice. And it memorizes them even if you unplug it. So I tried it. I unplugged the machine for a little while. It still memorizes the selections. It still has my favorite one is full strength and favorite 2 is full temperature. So that's a very nice feature. I've not seen that on Keurigs, and I actually really, really like that feature. So this does have a high altitude setting. And so you're going to, in order to put this in mountain mode, which is for like if you live in Denver, you want to turn the machine off. And you're going to hold the brew and the 8-ounce button together for 3 seconds until they flash. That's going to let you, and then the 12-ounce is going to come on. That lets you know that you're in mountain mode. And then you would just repeat the process again to get it off of mountain mode. But you got to make sure the machine is off when you do these. Check out my next video. So you will get a clean light to come on. Keurig says in their manual that after 250 brews, the clean light's going to come on. And I'm going to show you in my next video how to descale it. You can descale it with the Keurig solution or with white vinegar. It's got a descaling mode that we're going to put it in. And you have to go through that descaling mode to get, that's the only way to get that clean or descale light to come off. Again, my next video, this came with it, but it's the new design My K-Cup for the MultiStream Technology. I'm going to show you how to use your own coffee grounds. You can brew your cup of coffee with your own coffee grounds with this. I'm going to show you, so you can't take these needles out. I'm going to do another video on how to clean the needles, but I'm going to show you how to take this needle basket out. Be careful, the needle's down in there. So you're going to grab it on the sides. If it doesn't want to pull up, push from the bottom with one finger, and that'll help poke it up. It's not going to poke you on the bottom. There's nothing on the bottom that pokes you. It's a good idea to take these out once in a while and clean these with a brush. You'd be surprised how much gunk gets in them. So once you've got the needle basket apart, you're just going to, it's got a seam here where it's going to come apart. Just grab it and kind of twist it and it'll come apart. There's where you'll clean the needle with a paper clip. And this gets really cruddy after a while. So clean that out with a brush, all of this area, all of that area with a brush, soap and water. And then it's got these 2 ears. You're going to line them up with these little holes. You're going to line them up and it just should snap. And then you can't turn it anymore. And then to reinstall it, it's got the words caution sharp needles are going to go towards you. The needle's going to go that way. You're just going to put it in there and kind of press down till it's nice and even. Make sure it's nice and even. You don't want to force it. You should be able to close the handle with very little effort. Be careful of this because you can break these machines if you don't get that in there just right. So this is a very nice machine from Keurig. If you can find this on sale, it's even better because some of the other Keurig machines start to approach this like around $130, like the Case Select and the others. I would definitely get this. If no reason for the reservoir. It's so easy to handle, fill up. I do like all the extra added features here. I like the programmable of it. It looks nice. It does still have a lot of plastic feel to it, but they added some metal. So it does have a bit of a quality to it. I'm going to do several videos. I'm going to do a comparison with the K Supreme. Again, this is the K Supreme Plus. They make a K Supreme. It's been out there for a while. And it's a little cheaper. And it's a very, very good machine. I've got videos on it. It's an excellent machine. So after purchasing this, I've got every Keurig machine they make, the current model line. I'm going to be doing a big video. I'm going to put all the Keurig machines in my kitchen, and I'm going to show you each and every Keurig machine, how they compare to each other. That video will be coming. I'm going to be doing some more drink videos with this, and how to descale it, how to clean the needles. Thanks everybody for your support. I recently just passed 3,000 subscribers. I really, really appreciate that. I never thought I'd be able to do that. My videos are just intended to help people. So if you got any questions about this machine, leave them in the comments down below. I'll try to help you out as much as I can. Thanks everybody for watching. And if you could, please like and subscribe.